Naeku stood on the edge of the great Maasai plains, her eyes scanning the horizon. The wind whispered through the tall grass, carrying with it the voices of the ancestors. Their warning echoed in her heart, a quiet dread stirring within her. Her eyes scanned the endless horizon, but Naeku knew the true battle lay within. The path forward was uncertain, the weight of destiny pressing down on her. She clutched the staff tightly, feeling its ancient power course through her. A sudden gust of wind chilled her skin, and Naeku turned sharply. The sky darkened as thick clouds gathered above. She felt the shift in the air, a warning. Something was coming. The winds howled louder, and from the distant horizon, a shadowy figure appeared. Barely visible against the fading light, it moved toward her with deliberate steps. Naeku squinted, her heart pounding, trying to make sense of what she saw. As the figure came closer, Naeku's breath caught in her throat. It was a woman, dressed in the garments of a warrior. But more than that, this was her sister. Her sister, whom she had long believed dead. Naeku stumbled back, her mind spinning in disbelief. This was her sister, yet the woman before her was a stranger. Her face was hard, her eyes cold and unrecognizing. This was not the reunion Naeku had dreamed of. Her sister's voice was as sharp as the winds. "You left me," she said, her words cutting deep. "You chose the king's life over ours." The accusation struck Naeku's heart like a spear. Tears filled Naeku's eyes, her voice trembling as she spoke. "I never meant to leave you. I searched for you for years," she pleaded, but her sister's face remained like stone, unmoved by her words. "It doesn't matter now," her sister said with a bitter smile. "I have found my own path. You cannot save me." With those words, she turned her back on Naeku, walking away into the gathering storm. Naeku reached out, her hand trembling, but she did not move. Her sister was lost to her now, a wound that would never heal. She stood frozen, knowing that she must now find a way to forgive herself. The storm clouds gathered above, and Naeku stood alone, her heart heavy with sorrow. The voices of the ancestors returned, soft but steady, guiding her. She must return to the king. Her journey was not yet over. Naeku wiped the tears from her face, her heart hardening with resolve. She had faced the beast, she had faced her sister, and now she would face the king. But what awaited her was the truth, one that would unravel everything. The vast plains stretched out before her, an endless sea of grass. With a deep breath, Naeku began to walk back toward the palace, her footsteps steady, the storm rumbling behind her. Naeku knew her return would not be simple. Dark forces awaited her, far more sinister than anything she had faced before. But she was ready. The ancestors were with her, and her path was clear. Naeku stood at the gates of the palace, her heart pounding with the weight of what lay ahead. The skies rumbled above, and the wind howled as if the very air itself warned her of the final test. With a heavy heart, Naeku pushed open the grand gates. She stepped into the palace, where a torchlight cast long, dark shadows along the walls, filling the vast halls with mystery. She knew the king awaited her in the throne room. In the throne room, the king sat in silent contemplation. His face was marked by time, his eyes shadowed with secrets. Naeku entered, and their eyes met, a moment heavy with all that was unspoken. Naeku stepped forward, her voice steady and resolute. "I have faced the beast, and I have returned, my king. But there is something you must tell me," she demanded, her heart pounding with anticipation. The king's face darkened as he lowered his gaze, speaking softly of the curse that had haunted him for years. The beast, once his closest friend, now a shadow upon his life, threatened to destroy everything he held dear. Naeku listened, her heart aching with the weight of her love for the king and her journey with the beast. She understood now, this was a destiny written by the ancestors, the fate now reaching its final chapter. The king reached out, taking Naeku's hand in his. He looked into her eyes, and for a moment the years fell away. "Only you can end this curse, Naeku." "Only you," he whispered, his voice a blend of hope and despair. Naeku nodded, her resolve unshaken. She accepted her role in the prophecy, the weight of the curse resting on her shoulders. She knew that to end it would require a great sacrifice, but she was ready. The air thickened with a supernatural energy as the voices of the ancestors rose around her, guiding her toward the sacred grove where the curse had first taken root. With steady steps, Naeku walked forward, her heart filled with purpose. Naeku reached the grove, a place where the ancient powers dwelled. She knelt, calling upon the spirits for guidance and the strength to carry out the final act that would end the curse. As Naeku rose, a radiant light filled the grove, and the beast spirit appeared. It was no longer fierce, but sorrowful, a shadow of its former self. Naeku extended her hand, offering forgiveness. The beast spirit touched her hand, and a surge of energy passed between them. In that moment, the curse broke, and the beast spirit was finally freed, disappearing into the night like a fading star. Naeku returned to the palace, where the king waited, a rare smile on his face. The curse had been lifted, and in that quiet moment, they found peace at last.